Here are the top 5 everyday toxins that slowly kill you, and number 1 is protein powder, because you are a dumb fuck. Why are you consuming protein powder? I mean, it's literally made in a lab. I count protein powder as a highly processed food. Okay, it is by definition a highly processed food. If you actually look at how protein powder is made, it's actually a waste product. Like, sure, it's not anymore because people deliberately make it, but at first it was just a waste product, because if you make cheese, there is like some liquid milk left over, and that milk can then be used. That's whey protein basically, but it's in a liquid form, and then that is turned into powder through very complicated mechanisms. But it's actually a waste product, or not anymore, but it used to be just, oh, that milk on the side that we got when we tried to make cheese. Now this is turned into a $1 million industry that slowly poisons the whole gym culture, in my opinion. Because first of all, most protein powders, or at least half of them I believe, are actually cancerous, and 50% of them are actually riddled with heavy metals. And keep in mind, these tests were done in the USA, and California specifically, I think. And I don't know about you, but I do not trust the USA with my health. And even the USA says, okay, half of the protein powders on the market are actually riddled with heavy metals. So it's probably more like 80-90%. I don't trust the US. I just take every metric the US says, like how bad something is, I just double that. But anyways, also protein powder, obviously nobody just gets a protein powder with no flavor. You always gotta have cookies and cream, chocolate, brown, fudgy, brownie, some bullshit. Bro, it's literally made in a lab. Come on, like how are they replicating chocolate and cookie taste without using chocolate or cookies? Like, it's literally made in the lab. Like, imagine the gif of Walter White. You've watched Breaking Bad, right? The gif of Walter White making something in a lab. This is how they make your protein powder, bro. Why are you consuming that? Number 2 is fluoride. These are typically contained in your drinking water if you drink from a tap. Even if you're careful and you buy glass water bottles, you actually should check in the back the label if it contains fluoride, because fluoride literally lowers IQ. Okay, I don't want to drink water that lowers my IQ. And also fluoride is contained in most typical salts, which is why I recommend to get some pure, proper salt without fluoride. And it's also contained in your toothpaste, but in the toothpaste, I wouldn't use toothpaste myself. I don't use it, but it's not as bad, because if you don't swallow the fluoride, it doesn't, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have an impact if you don't swallow it. But pause. But if you're drinking water from the tap or from a water brand that has fluorides in the water, or you get it from salt, you should really cut that out, because it literally lowers your IQ, bro. It makes you dumber. Like, why is this in our water? It makes us dumb, and it's just in our water, in our toothpaste. And yeah, number 2 is fluoride. Number 3 is microplastics, actually. And these are unfortunately in everything we wear, we consume, we eat, we drink. Most of our foods are packaged in plastics, which is not ideal, but it's still not too bad. Where it gets really bad is when it comes into contact with liquids, or if you drink something from a plastic bottle, specifically these like soft bottles, because these contain BPA. BPA just basically makes plastic soft and flexible. Problem is, if you have like a water bottle and there's water on the inside and it's shaking around, these microplastics actually get into the water. And then obviously you drink the water, you drink the microplastics, they get into your blood flow, your brain, your testicles, literally. Like, a lot of the guys are, whoa, stop. Now I've got your attention. They're actually even on the clothes we wear. Like, this is like cotton, for example. I really pay attention to wearing only cotton, and so does my family, which I'm very fortunate with, because most people don't even know about stuff like that. But most clothes, or a lot of clothes, especially gym clothes, are usually made of polyester or nylon. And this is all basically just plastic, and it gets even worse when you go to the gym with that, and if you sweat into that. Because, man, you're just bathing in plastics, you're like sweating, your pores are opening up, and you have like plastic pressing down on you, especially if it's like these compression shirts. So our clothes should really be cotton. Then our foods, unfortunately, you can't really do much about that. And your water just make sure you buy water bottles. Number 4 is heavy metals. I actually talked about those briefly with protein powders, but thing is, heavy metals are contained in way too much stuff, unfortunately, especially in seafood, which is so unfortunate. Humanity really ruined the ocean, bro. Like, we ruin everything. Honestly, if the world ends, like, it ended to end us. Like, like, man, we are such a shit parasite of a species. But that's another topic. So, what contains heavy metals? Usually it's salmon, especially if you get farm-raised salmon and not wild-caught one, and fish that you can get in a can, basically, like mackerel, tuna. These usually contain a lot of heavy metals like mercury, arsenic. So just try not to eat seafood, I guess. Well, it's not that simple. Actually, most salts also contain heavy metals, and even most good fluoride-free salts contain heavy metals, especially obviously sea salt and this like Himalaya salt. It's also in our water. If you drink from the tap, at least. If you drink from a proper source with a glass bottle, you won't have any heavy metals. But if you drink tap water with like pipes, obviously some of these metals get into your water, and it's not too good for you. I can already tell you that. Anyways, number 5 is skincare products. And again, these usually contain heavy metals, and when you put that shit on your face and all those chemicals, all that stuff, it gets absorbed through your skin, it gets into your blood flow, into your brain, and then you're just a beautiful mess of microplastics, heavy metals, and weird chemicals. Actually, I'm gonna do a video how to counteract that, but thanks for watching today's video. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.